You see, we got Drew Brown with us, Glen Gundle. You guys know him as Bones. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. How are you, Doug?
Not too bad. And Drew, we didn't get a chance to talk about it beforehand here, but I'm glad you're wearing a little bit more than you were in your TikTok video that I seen of you last night.
Hey, a lot of people like seeing that for some reason. I don't know if they're laughing with me or at me, but I'm all right either way.
Well, hey, it's always good to have some fun. So I guess you guys, the big topic still kind of going on is Cleveland. So you guys made the long drive as well too, because you're both in Georgia, and that's I think there's you hear some people talking, and some are upset about it, and others are like, you know what, I'm not sure the sport is even going to hurt from it. It's something that had to be done, and I think we're going to bounce back.
Yeah, I believe. I'm not upset about it. I mean, I never try to get upset about things that we don't have any control on. I mean, we just go with the flow. I think it all worked out for the best, as it looks like now. So yeah, I was all for it, no matter what path they decided to take.
Yeah. So, because like I said to Jay Corley on Saturday, I had him on. Is like we had a chance to talk to Stacy on Friday morning, and he looked like he hadn't slept for a year. Like he was just worked right over.
Oh, I'm sure. And I think Trey Ryder's in that same boat too. I mean, we got to give them guys all behind the scenes and in front of the scenes a lot more credit than they've been given in the past. And I understand that I know they waited a while to kind of make a decision, but if we could have pulled that off and slipped into an ESPN one, the main broadcast spot, I mean, it would have been huge considering right now they're playing different sports, marble rolling and everything else in front of us. So, I understand them trying to wait it out and make the best decision possible. And unfortunately, some weren't as lucky. It's kind of how things roll. Like Bone said, we can't control any of that. So.
Yeah. So you guys are ACL Pro partners. So
Yes.
Is there anything, Glenn, for you? Is there anything that you can, secrets on Drew that you can give away, or are they all kind of top secret?
They'll still
What? I didn't like
secrets on me.
No, I just this is our first year playing as pros together, and we've only been able to do the one down there in Florida so far, which I think will do real good. I'm glad to play with Drew. He throws a real good bag, and I got no problem whatsoever. He's probably going to carry me a little more than I carry him, so I'm all for playing with him and looking forward to throwing whenever we get to back throwing. We're not even doing any blind draws or nothing down here right now, so yeah, I can't wait actually to get to one of the nationals whenever they come around.
Yeah, we're not sure. So Drew, he was Glenn's kind of really pumping the tires there. So I guess it's the same with him.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of brag on him to people that don't know him, because there are some people out there that think he's kind of under the radar, but he's definitely one of the most, I would say, consistent slick side of the bag type throwers that are out there. While we were in Fort Lauderdale, for example, we played against Isidro Herrera and Ryan Windsor, and we was down 17-17 and came up just short to them guys in order to get to the winners bracket final in our pool. But I mean, Bones held with Isidro neck and neck every bag. I mean, he was sliding in holes that bags shouldn't have went in, and Isidro gave him a couple looks, and I was like, that's what he does. That slick side can fall in crevices that some bags just can't fall into. So it's definitely a pleasure playing with him. We kind of have a crazy backstory. When we moved down here, we both knew each other. It was kind of the best of the best that was down here. Everyone we play with is all really good. Don't get me wrong. Don't think I'm saying anything out of the ordinary there. But me and him deciding to partner up is almost kind of like a business decision. And so far, it's worked out great. And and I'm looking forward to everything we have to come in the future, as long as we can get back to throwing as soon as possible.
Yeah, I know. Talking to most people down in the States, I'm glad I'm up here in Canada where we have just our regular players, because you look at any one of those leagues down there that you guys would be playing in, and you guys are playing pros all the time.
Yeah, I mean, thank goodness, shout out to North Georgia Cornhole. Him, Corey Harkins, and Roy Snyder, they run an exceptional regional, and they also do a bunch of tournaments on the side as well. But their regionals draw people from Jacksonville, Florida, all the way 6 hours north of them to come and play. But we're consistently throwing against Colby Ussery, Noah Wooten, Matthew Sorrells. There's a whole list of names that I can say that at any given point or time they could come away with a win in our regional. It is tough. I mean, it may not be the toughest, but I can make an argument for it being the toughest.
And even our local blind draws we do weekly here. We have 6, 8, 10 guys that are right at our level, and that keeps us throwing good, or trying to keep us on our game, because the competition just at our local blind draws is very tough. That if you have 1 or 2 bad rounds, we can easily get beat by 6, 8, 10, 12 guys that we throw with. So that kind of helps, keeps us concentrating on throwing good.
Yeah, so you guys, I know we talked before, you guys have both kind of come down from Michigan. So did you guys play in Michigan then as well too?
No, we actually met each other down here. I actually moved out of Michigan years ago.
Okay.
Before he was even around, I was already out of Michigan. So, I originally from there, but I grew up most of my life down in Florida, and then I've been here in Georgia for about 14 years now, 13. And we met probably 5, 6 years ago or somewhere in there. And we just teamed up together, but we've known each other and played in local stuff all the time. So it's worked out good so far.
I want to correct you now. I'm not a Michigan fan. I'm from Ohio. I'm an Ohio State fan. I don't know how we get along. He's got Michigan stuff on the wall. But it works out. It's all.
Yeah, one of these tournaments that we come to, we're actually, one of us, I'm going to wear my Michigan hat. He's going to have his Ohio State hat on. Because right now they're getting the better part of Michigan. Hopefully we'll be back here soon, but we'll find out.
That's when the people will really see who carries who, is when I have my Ohio State shirt on, these guys Michigan stuff on.
So you're saying that it's a good thing you guys are at the other end of the board. So you got that little bit, that 27 feet buffer between the hats.
Yeah, he's lucky because I'm bigger than him. So.
So I just want to see, we got a couple people in the chat here now. We got Ben, we got Terry, and Drew. You may know, or one other guy I can see in the thing here, Parker Blake. You may know him as Big Boy on Twitter. I know we've had some interactions with him.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Oh, he's an amazing guy. So he's actually come up in the last 2 shows because we talked about with Jay Corley, how he's the big Jay Corley fan. So we've got to try and get him over to our side.
Right. He needs to come up and play some cornhole with us.
Exactly. So anyone's got any questions, if you're watching, let them know, and we'll try to answer them for you. But looking ahead, so we've kind of talked before. We think Salt Lake is going to be out. We might get a chance at Philly. So you guys going to be heading up to Philly for that regional after that? So not regional, national.
Yeah, so we'll actually be at all of them. So if they do decide to go through the Salt Lake City one, whenever they do, I mean, we've got the vacation days and everything to do it, and everything, the sponsorship money set aside. So we're hoping that they decide to go with it. I mean, the more national exposure we can get, especially going into the Rock Hill championships of bags or whatever, the national championships, hopefully we can get as much exposure before then to kind of get the rust or anything off of us, and so we can make a big run come Rock Hill time.
Yeah, that's just the full thing is you're trying to play against the best you can all the time, and it's just that's what I really want to see when going down to Cleveland. I'm just trying to see playing against those little better players, get that bigger competition, and with a little more pressure on you, just to try and that pressure kind of keeps you on your toes. When you really gotta hit those bags.
Definitely.
And even when we go to the conferences, right? Our conference tournaments that we have are very tough. There's between the Florida boys and Alabama guys, there is just a lot of good throwers down here in the South. Plus, they're outside down in Florida all the time. They can practice year round, and so that keeps us on our toes, trying to throw our best too when we go to our conferences. There's just some good talent down there in the South down there.
Yeah, and I'm guessing you guys are probably the same with the way we are up here. I've and since I started doing the show, I've been able to see some more of the players around Ontario here and around Canada, and it's just those players that are just below that advanced or pro level are just there's always that someone that wants to step up and try and take you out.
Definitely, yeah. Target on your back when you're the best around.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. For up here, our advanced group is good. Like we've got a lot of good players, but that competitive group right underneath that is just they kind of scare me with them coming up. So, question here from Blake. So we've now that we're all stuck in the house here. Are you guys playing in any of the ghost tournaments that have kind of popped up?
No, right now I'm not. We played in a couple of them. I would say 3-4 months ago or somewhere in that area. But I'm going to, depending on how long all this non-throwing goes on, that it's starting to get nicer here in Georgia where we can set a set of boards up outside, and if we got to hurry up and throw a game. But during the wintertime, that was a problem here between the rain and the cold weather and trying to dress appropriately to throw bags outside. But I'm going to try getting into it a little bit, and we'll see how that goes. But because those are fun. Plus, it keeps you up to date too, and keeps you in touch with a lot of people that are doing it now too.
No, exactly. You guys are probably a little better off than we are up here. We just started to get some good weather, so we're still probably a lot colder than what you guys are down there. But we're getting some no snow. But we've got in Newfoundland here, just on our East Coast, we've got a new league started up, and we've started doing some remote tournaments. And we got one guy who says, you know what, you guys are all playing outside. He's still got 5 feet of snow in his backyard, so he can't play.
Yeah, see, right. Obviously, it's a little. It's getting nice too down here, where we can go outside and throw. It's getting up into the 70s most of the time now. But yeah, the winters are really tough.
That's why we moved south. We got sick of the snow. It wouldn't let us play cornhole outside. So.
I see another question here coming from my a cousin that's kind of helping moderate here. I know why he's asking because he's seeing what I'm doing. But so what are you guys drinking there tonight? Is his question.
I'm drinking a Magic Hat Pumpkin Ale. It's kind of like an IPA. Where it's from, I don't know.
And if everybody knows me, they know that I'm drinking my Diet Coke because I drive a truck and I got to get up at like 3:30, 3 in the morning, so I don't drink. And I do drink beer, but on the weekends. But during the week, I just try not to do it because I get up real early.
He's probably the only partner that hasn't yelled at me for drinking beer on the job. So I think last time we played, as a matter of fact, he told me to go get a beer because I wasn't there at the bar at the moment.
I've been told that the more I drink, the better I throw. So it's I gotta it's just tough when you're on our league nights. You're driving there, and I can't do like 3 or 4 while I'm playing in a couple hours. But yeah, so he knows me because he knows that I'm doing my regular beer here, and I got my this is probably closer to you guys. I got my old smoky moonshine here.
Tennessee.
Yeah, so it's a little. I'm gonna say it's not the high test stuff. I get it when I'm in Charlotte at the race, but it's still kind of hits the spot.
What flavor is it?
I'm only an apple pie guy, so it's
There you go.
so yeah, so it's hitting that. Although I did get in a little trouble. They have their pina colada flavored as well too. And there was one night. Thankfully, there's no pictures, but apparently I was running around with like flags, wearing them as a cape after a race one night. So
were you fully clothed or no?
Yeah, I still was. Yeah, that's that was the good part.
Okay, moonshine can do that to you. So.
Oh yeah, I know. Like that's I joke about them. My introduction to cornhole was the exact same night as my introduction to moonshine down in Charlotte. So I kind of got the best of both worlds there.
Yeah, when we throw, I kind of take that father figure a little bit on Drew, where I know his fine line where he needs one and where he doesn't need one. So I kind of keep the tabs on him and gauge how he's throwing and tell him whether to slow down or tell him to have another one. And I pretty much stick to my Diet Coke when I'm throwing bags. So.
Hey, for me, I just call them performance-enhancing beverages. That's all they are.
Anywhere between 6 and about 17, I'm good to go.
Yeah, well, I know. I know for us, my partner and I, we go camping a lot in the summer. So for us, we're a Friday to Sunday just throwing bags and drinking. So it's if I could do that in a regular tournament, then I'd be right up there with you guys in the pro ranks. But I can't do that on a regular basis.
Now, my one stipulation, I don't have any liquor or anything like that. I try to, especially tournament time, I try to stick to beer. I rarely ever drink liquor, but last night, if you seen my video on TikTok, that was a couple Tito's and orange juices in. I don't know what happened
there. But hey, it's all about having fun and promoting yourself.
That's right.
So speaking of promoting yourself, Drew, you've got your Twitter account. I've got it below if you look down below in the descriptions, you'll be able to see Drew's Twitter account, and you've got something going on there that for everyone to try and check out, and because you're trying to give something away.
Yeah, I'm trying to give a set of bags away. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about it on the way here. I know I put 500 retweets in the tweet there. But I mean, if we can get up to say 100 or so, I'm trying to give these bags away. So I mean, we can make it easier if whoever's tuning in here, they can give the shout out and get some retweets going. I think I would like to lower it down to 100, and that way we can give them away as soon as possible. I know everything going on in the world. I kind of want to make someone smile or at least feel like they belong and forget about everything that's going on, just kind of get back to where we can throw bags again. So if we can get up to 100 retweets, I'll make that announcement here on the CornDoug podcast here, that if we can get to 100 retweets on my Twitter account, I'll retweet it again when we hang up here. I'll definitely be sending some Game Changer Steadies out one of your way. So make sure you tune in there and get ready.
And for anyone watching, Ben has just kind of put Drew's Twitter handle back up in the chat portion there for you to go and check that out. I may have to make up a couple new Twitter handles just to try and see if I can get a hold of it.
Hey, that's fine. I can't monitor all of them. So.
Although I may have trouble talking to Matt when I start using Game Changers with the Octane sponsorship, but we'll see how that goes.
Hey, that Octane logo is really cool, by the way. I do like their Octane logo.
Yeah, this is the Octane team jersey that Matt's got for the pro guys, and I was like, I'm not a pro, but hey, I kind of try and peddle this stuff online here, but it's just it's just those bag companies that are just everyone talks about you got to play this bag, and if you talk to the manufacturers, I think most of them are all friends, and we all kind of get along.
Oh yeah, they do. I think, and I'm kind of the behind the scenes guy. I think they do support each other. They kind of want, as long as one is thriving, they kind of all thriving. And we kind of seen that with kill shots. I mean, all it took was one team to kind of go through and make a run, And kill shots went from barely being known to one of the most expensive bags on the market, on the black market, I guess, because when they're selling them outright, they're not that expensive. They're actually well priced. But on the black market, they are definitely going for a handful.
Well, I know. I talked with Trey Ryder about that. And it's like, I think gold is less expensive than some of the bags now.
I was trying to trade some toilet paper off for some widows.
Yeah, I know. And I'm not sure. Just that could even be almost like an even trade now.
Yeah, just about.
So then talking about bags. So what bags do you guys throw then?
To be honest, we're actually two totally different throwers, and I know a lot of people that team up together try to pick who throws similar like them in order to throw the same type of bag. Like I mentioned earlier, he's more of a slick side guy, one of the best in the country that throws slick side. I'm more of a blocker / bounce and curve bag type of guy. But in doubles, me and him have been throwing game changers, his Bones game changers, and also the Noah Wooten game changers. Shout out Noah. But in singles, I'm more of a Reynolds advantage. I got my Reynolds advantages. I've also been known to throw some of the widows as well. I made it a point to not sign with a bag sponsor for this season for that reason, because I know he would like a different bag, I would like a different bag. And there's different situations where the boards may be stickier or slicker where I'd want to change, or maybe he'd even want to change. And I didn't want to tie us both down to one company, really. But I can let him speak on what he likes in singles.
If anybody knows me, I like just about the slickest bag you can find, the slickest boards you can find. And it's just the way I've always thrown them. And lately, the only thing I've been throwing is game changers, except me and Drew threw a tournament a month or so ago, and we used the Black Widows, and I had no problem with those. So those I can see coming into play a little bit too, that once I get used to them, but I threw those very well. But 95% of the time I'm throwing my Bones game changers or my Noah bags. But
Yeah, I know. It's for me myself. My partner and I, Matt, if you're going to be watching, close your ears. We've always thrown slide rights as a team, just because that's what he prefers, and so I kind of go with that because they're probably a couple of years old now, and they're broken in. He's our main guy in our team, so I just kind of go with him. So and then for myself, I'm throwing my Apex bags, but just going from here, we had a very limited selection of bags, and then I went down to Cherokee a couple years ago, and got partnered up with Robbie Graham in a blind draw, and he's like, "Try to throw on these here Reynolds Pro Advantages," and I did, and I was like, "Oh, okay." There's no stopping it. There's no stick side on these ones here, so it's just that your preference and just sorry, getting used to the different types of bags.
That's right. And literally it's making up your mind. I went to tournaments and it's hurt me where I've switched different bags between different games. I may not have played up to par in the first game. Maybe I won, but I knew I didn't make every bag and I'd switch and it ended up hurting me in the end. But for the most part, I like my Reynolds advantages. I like to be able to put a decent block up there and then maybe play around it. Mine stick a little bit more. I don't know about yours.
Yeah.
Definitely more than his game changers.
You know, I just look at some of these guys that, you know, we had a guy come into a tournament with us, and he had like a little mini suitcase of bags. I'm like, do you really need like 10 sets of bags going to a tournament? It's, you know, I think, you know, you got 2 would be fine.
Right. As a matter of fact, it's kind of funny that you said that because we flew out west up to Cleveland. I actually flew into Pittsburgh. So we got 2 bags for free, and I had a suitcase just full of bags. I figured, why not? As long as it didn't go over the 40-something pounds, I was gonna take all my bags that way. So I was one of them guys just a couple weeks ago.
Well, I'm gonna say that I think that's a different situation because you're going a long way from home. You're not and and you're a full weekend. It's not just a 1 day, 1 afternoon tournament, right? It's just a one. It's you're there for a long haul. So you're gonna, because you never know what the boards are gonna be like, and just what you're gonna need to throw.
And on a regular tournament, if we go to, I usually carry probably 3 to 4 sets, but no more than that I don't take with me. And usually one of those sets will work depending on the boards. But other than that, I don't carry too many of them with me. I got quite a few of them that I don't use, but I only take about 3 sets with me when I go.
Yeah, I'm a stick and slick guy, so it's like that's what all my bags are. So I really only need to bring the one set. Just to need the 2 different colors and way to go. I don't really need the big long haul of all the bringing all my bags with me.
Right.
But so our other question, I posed this here last week to Jake Orley. So I'm not sure what you guys are looking with this. Our big thing in our local league right now is headphones or no headphones when you play, or when your opponent has got them in and you can't. You want to just have that fun game kind of chat, but he's got the headphones in. So what are your opinions on them?
I have a set of them, but I've never worn them. I don't ever wear them playing cornhole because I actually like to hear the people that are even watching, or I'm just so used to hearing the board, the bags hitting the board, and it's easier to talk to people too, or talk to my opponent or whoever's next to me. I like to talk without pulling them out and listening, and I just don't get comfortable with anything in my ear, so I don't ever even use them. I don't carry them. I own a set, but that's for driving. And other than that, I don't ever use that set.
Me, I'm still kind of up in the air, just like you are. I mean, I've played in tournaments where I've had them in, just for a big part of being in the game and not worrying about anybody else. Also, another reason playing players like Matthew Sorrells, who likes to talk to you about fishing while he's kicking your butt. I don't really want to talk, So I've been there when I've been in the zone. I've wanted to play with them in, but I also have used the Matthew Sorrells and the Cody Henderson view and have talked my way through a win before. I think it's just really how I'm feeling that day, how many beers I've had, I guess, as well. I'm still kind of up in the air whether it helps me or hurts me. In doubles, for the most part, I don't like to wear them. I want to know what he's thinking without having to read his lips or take out my headphones. And I also don't want to be screaming across the room because my music's up just to tell him to airmail or lay up. So.
Yeah, another reason I don't wear them is I like to hear him yell at me if I miss a bag, or I like to hear him say "good bag." So yeah, I don't like to talk loud, and we can tell each other by looking at each other what we're doing and what we did wrong. And but for the most part, I never wear them. I just like talking to everybody when I'm throwing.
If I do wear them, though, I like to listen to some NF or Mac Miller, Cal Scrubby, some like old. Not old, I guess old enough for you. You're old, but some like 2010 type rap or something like that. It's not too hardcore and just kind of mellow.
And I've never heard of anything he just said. I had no idea that was even music.
So then, although you guys are a newer team in the pro ranks, but so. Some of your games, what are some of your memorable games that you guys have had as a team or even singly?
Well, the one that comes to mind, it was one of our regionals where for the last year or two, we've been used to Mr. Sorrells and Mr. Wooten coming up here and doing what they usually do. And it took us a while and probably 5, 6, 7 chances, and it came up to us against them again. And me and Drew finally had the chance to beat them, and we did it. We beat them back-to-back games for the first time ever. And that one I remember very well because we were both throwing obviously very good to beat both of those guys in 2 consecutive games. And that's one-on-one that comes to the head, comes to my mind right away. And even the one that we lost down there in Fort Lauderdale, I mean, we were so close to beating Mr. Ryan and Cedro. I mean, that close. I mean, that would have been a great victory for us, but that even was a good game to be involved with.
Yeah.
I take some blame on that game. I think it was 17-16. I had an airmail where I could have scored 7 off Ryan Windsor, and I went a little bit left and ended up only getting 1 point, made it 17 off. So if I would have hit that one, that definitely would have been one of the first ones we came up with. And hopefully you would have seen us on ESPN. Who knows?
Yeah, that's just a big thing. It's just, it's even with some of those guys, even if you come close to winning, you almost feel like, you know what, I'm not upset at losing, but it's, because that it kind of gives you you can hang with them.
Yeah, that's what we've said for the since we've teamed up, that we've been in those spots and we know we can throw the bags with anybody really, but obviously you've got to be on your game to pretty much all day to get to the end of these things. And that's where the hard part comes in, is being on top of your game for 10, 12, 14 games straight or 15 and not missing too many bags. And that's we know we can do that. We just have to concentrate enough that we do it, and but we know we have the ability to do it. It's just answering the bell when we're there.
Oh, and I think that's the thing, is that some of the lower level players, I guess, don't really realize is that when you're at a tournament, you're there for like 10 hours when you're playing. And it's just, you've got to have that stamina to keep going. Like we had a tournament here where we went and we did a regional and a conference in the same day. And we had about 60 people there, which is a big one, which was at the time a big one for us. And some of those newer players were like, I'm getting tired by the end of the day. And it's like, well, yeah, you got to, it's that pacing yourself and just, keeping that arm loose for a full day.
Yeah, and in between games too, because I'm a couple years older than he is, so in between games, I actually relax in a chair and sit down and try not to be always throwing bags in between. I got to watch myself now that I'm a little older, and I relax as much as I can in between games, because yes, you have to. You could literally be on your feet for 14 straight hours if you wanted to, but all the young guys will practice in between games. I can't do that too much anymore. It just it catches up to me.
Yeah, it's just that, and it's that the whole thing of people saying, oh, it's not a sport. Well, come and play for a day and let's just see how you feel at the end.
Yeah, there definitely is mental stamina to it as well as physical stamina.
So I guess that'd be another thing too, is for the mental side is, how do you guys try, and if you've got into, you get into that funk, that kind of low point, bringing yourself back out of that. Is there any special ways that you guys try it, or just trying to just hit that board?
My thing is, if we're in a funk, that probably means we lost the game. Just about every tournament you go to, especially nowadays, you have one to give, is the way I say it. You don't want to give that one, but it does happen where you got to come back up to the loser bracket. The most important thing is keeping your head clear. You don't want that lost. You don't want to dwell on it. You don't want it to stick with you, because you got that one. It's already done. It's over with. Now you got to figure out what you did wrong, what shots you should have made, what you can do in the next game in your same situation in order to create that shot or make the shot that you missed where things ultimately ended up bad for you. I mean, it is all mental, and it depends on who you are, whether you can get over it or not. And me, I try to look at the positive side of everything. I just want to make sure if I hit an airmail, but I missed the next one, I want to know that I can still do it. I mean, people are going to miss. Everyone's going to miss a shot. I let him miss one every game, but anything more than that, I'm a little upset. But it does happen. Everybody misses a bag. You just can't dwell on that miss.
And when it comes to me, I'm pretty much my worst enemy. I been trying to get better on it, but I will get real upset with myself. I don't, and I let that carry on once in a while, which I got to get better at that. But to, clean up my frame of mind, and when I feel that I should have made a bag, I really get upset with myself for not doing it when I know I can do it, and sometimes that might carry on to the next bag or the next round, and I got to get a little better at controlling my emotions that way. But I just keep concentrating and just never give up. It's the only thing you can keep doing.
Yeah, so another question from Parker here is the other age-old question in cornhole is step or no step?
I literally started throwing these bags, I want to say probably 13 years ago, right when the game came out. And I have taken a step from day one, and I have never changed. I have never tried. I tried it one round, I think, of not stepping, but I have stepped the entire 14 years of throwing, 13 or whatever it is, of throwing bags. I've never changed one thing about my throw because I tried it one time and it didn't work for me. So I go with what works, and I step every single bag all the time.
This is bad because you're not going to get a clear answer from both of us at the same time. I'm completely different. I started out stepping. I'm a right-hander. I would step with my left foot. Over time, I started to notice when I didn't step, it's almost like throwing darts. I would like to keep my dominant eye over my shoulder and have my shoulder throwing foot closest to the hole. And my main objective obviously is to make it a hole, but I want each bag to go where I want to put it. It doesn't necessarily mean it needs to go in the hole. If my bag blocks his, it's hanging on the side, that's where I want to put it. It doesn't necessarily need to go in the hole, just as long as I put it where it needs to go. And as long as this foot, my lead foot, is facing the hole, my elbows straight, my dominant eyes over my shoulder, and I'm able to kind of just like darts, just throw it where it needs to go. Now I have, I guess I would say, less control on my slick side because I'm closer to the hole, so I'm trying to push it even more. Where he's more of a loft thrower. He gets the bag up in the air. At times when we're in a low ceiling or something like that, kind of for our regionals, he's at a disadvantage. Also the times when we're outside and his bag's hanging in the air more, he's also at a disadvantage then. But when it comes to slick boards, I have a harder time throwing on slick boards because he can loft it up, let it ride up the board, and me, I've got to do something different now. I've got to get my bag up in the air or almost not let it land as flat because I'm a very flat thrower compared to Moses' bag. It's Matt Guy-esque, aka ugly. It's very ugly, but it works. But yeah, you're not going to get a clear answer. This is right or that's right.
Oh no.
My biggest thing is figure out how you throw, how you're most consistent at doing that, and perfect what you're good at. I mean, I change my throw up every tournament. It's different every time. My release is different. My flight's different. It just depends on the situation and all the other variables that people don't think about that aren't throwing bags on a consistent basis like we are.
Yeah, if you were to watch, if you watch me play, there's been times where I've been in such a funk that I can't get out of it, that I change by the bag. I'll step, I won't step, I'll change hands, I'll do different grips. It's just that mental thing of just trying to get that throwback, and it's just
Right.
it's hard to get it back, but then you don't realize it. It's when you go back to what you were doing all the time, is when you get that throwback. So it's like, don't even change it. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Right. And I've even done kind of what you said. My throw is kind of day to day. Someday I'll be arguably one of the best in the country, and someday I'll be wondering why I even got these jerseys on. But on days like those, I'll step back a little bit and I'll do a couple practice throws where I've stepped, and I'm sure Bones have seen that.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much me mentally getting my bag back to where it was when I didn't step. I need to get that more loft on it, or I need to get that bag a little bit flatter. And if I start stepping, then it forces me to do that. And
well, I'm guessing it's probably a little more focus on you guys with the pro division, where it's that being able to step back. It's like there's all those eyes on you watching because you're up there. You can't be doing that, right? So that's that whole other mental game
right.
of cornhole. It's like, and my favorite thing is Timothy Pitcher told me is that sometimes you're playing checkers and sometimes you're playing chess. It's just that whole mental game that everyone thinks, oh, it's just this easy little game. Come and try playing, and just seeing just how easy it is to hit the board, and with someone else trying to make you not hit the board.
Right. Yeah.
So I had another good question in my own head, and that's it's totally gone from me here now. But so with the pro division here, you guys have obviously got your sponsors. You wanna give them a shout out here?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Drew. All right, Drew takes care of all the PR work for our team. I'm an old school guy, so he does pretty much the running around. He talks to the guys. He's good with the computer. He's good with the phone too, which I'm not. Everybody knows I can't do any of that stuff. So Drew is in charge, and he takes great pride in everything that he does. He does a great job at it. And I'll let him do a few shout outs to whoever he wants to.
Well, I mean,
you're just here to put the bag in the hole.
Right. He better. Don't miss one. He can only miss one. Our main guys, Atlanta Ballet, they're out of obviously Atlanta. They do a lot for us. Also, Dirty Bags. We're going to have a Bones Dirty bag coming out here hopefully soon, so we can release that to the public, and anybody that wants to buy a Game Changer Bones bag will be able to do that. Also, North Georgia Cornhole, they've been real big. Obviously, I told you earlier, they do a lot of our regionals and local tournaments around here, and kind of helping us create a name for ourselves other than us actually going out and doing it. They've done a really good job.
Strange.
And then Strange Cornhole, of course, I got the hat on, so they've been a big help as well. And last but not least, we've had one of my, I guess, coworkers or bosses, however you want to say it. He's one of I call him a prime investor. He invested in us a long time ago, and his granddaughter actually she works, or not works, but she goes to SCAD University. And I asked him, I said, you get a spot on our jersey, what do you want? And initially he was like, oh, whatever. And then he came back and he was like, it would be a really good idea for you to kind of represent my granddaughter. So shout out to Mr. Hayes and his granddaughter for helping us out with the pink design. I had to put it on the pink. I didn't think many teams would have it, but I was kind of caught by a surprise. There's a lot of teams with the pink, but yeah, they've all helped us out. And I can't thank any of them enough.
Well, I know, like that's the one thing that we're trying to get some people up. That's because we're still ground floor here. We're trying to get it up, but it's just getting those people just to believe in us being a legitimate sport, I guess, because it's one that there's so many opportunities for sponsorship for anything in this game.
Right. Another one too. I want to thank Mo Better Beef Jerky as well. If you haven't tried it, I mean, they've got some of the best beef jerky. He's actually been grateful enough to actually hook us up with beef jerky to take to the Cleveland National, which I never got to eat and play, but I did eat them. So shout out to them as well. They're not on our jerseys, but he's definitely supported us, and we want to support him too.
So it's something for Bones to have while he's having his break between games.
Yeah, and that's something a lot of people don't really think about is when you go to these tournaments, you start at 9 o'clock in the morning. I mean, some teams may be done by noon, but obviously we don't want to be done by noon. So we could be playing till 3 or 4 in the afternoon and never get anything to eat. So Mo Better Beef Jerky gave us an opportunity to get a bite to eat real quick, a lot of protein and everything else. And it is difficult to you don't want to eat nachos and have something left on your hand and go touch a bag and then alter the bag because, I mean, according to rules, that bag could then be thrown out and you'd be left without. So it's definitely a struggle that a lot of people that don't go to these big tournaments and play regularly don't really think about.
Oh yeah, it's not your long tournament. You're not doing just the pizza and beer for the full day.
Right.
So is there any other stuff you want to do? I guess like I always call it the shameless self promotion of your game or your leagues or is there anything else you want to give a shout out here for?
I'll brag a little bit. I know we talked about games that we remember. I ended up winning the state championship for Georgia back-to-back years. I wasn't able to go this past year. Noah Wooten took it over, but I'll tell you, he's a tough competitor. As a matter of fact, me and him teamed up last year for ACL Fort Lauderdale National and went all the way to the championship. I mean, we beat some of the top teams, Matt Guy, Brett Guy, Lester Price, Greg Geary, ended up double dipping them, played Jay Corley and Tyler Poitras and beat them to get to the championship. And then met our demise against Kyle and Dalton in the championship. So they did beating us. That's one heck of a team. I want to give a big shout out to our conference, our Southeast Conference. Trey Ryder needs to start recognizing we have the best conference out there. And I'm not throwing any shade at any other conference, but man, Dalton and Kyle showed out at the Fort Lauderdale National. They're from our area. That's back-to-back wins for them. Also, Tanner Halbert with the season-ending win at Cobb's last year. That's insane. And our regional as well. I tell everybody that our regional is the toughest in a four-state area. When you talk about South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia, we have probably one of the toughest regionals. So anybody that's came into our territory and has won, they definitely deserve it.
Yeah, I remember just talking about Dalton. I remember seeing him back Cherokee. I want to say it was 2018 when I was there. First time I got to watch him throw was a blind draw in the morning before everything started. He had actually threw against my regular partner in a blind draw. It was just, he was just, you could see then that he was just, it was going to be a name in the cornhole world.
Yeah. They're both exceptional throwers, and like Drew said, I want to go back 1 year. This is one thing that I like to brag or bring up once in a while. But in one of our, was it a conference? I believe one of our conferences last year in the singles, I had two of my best games ever. Is I actually, nothing against these two because they're great throwers. They're two of the best around. That I actually beat Kyle and Dalton in singles back-to-back games, and I was quite surprised that I did it. And they eventually went further than me. They had, they got them in the mood to throw better. But those are two of my games too that I look back on pretty proud that I've beat those two young kids at one time.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. You're playing against those great players, and it's just I wish I had the chance to play against them more. Like I said before we went on that we get Bobby Sperry up here. We got Jack Shea comes up here, and so we get a chance to play against some better players there, and it's just I keep saying that people that are just kind of not in the pro, they don't get a chance to talk to them any of the pros. Is that when you see one around like yourselves, stop and talk to them, because you know, you guys, the cornhole world is so different than any other sports, that where it's just, you know, we'll play games against each other and then we'll all go for a drink afterwards.
Yes, everybody seems to like each other, and everybody talks to each other. And yeah, and that part of it, it is nice that everybody is, and then you just meet so many, gets new friends too out of it, that you're just constantly meeting more people, and it's just a great way to get to know a lot of people too.
I mean, I probably wouldn't even have known Bones if Cornhole wasn't down here. So
right, that's how we met, is through Cornhole. So yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, exactly, and it's just, you know, and even perfecting your throw or anything, it's always, you know, trying to encourage people just to watch as much as they can, just to learn off other people as well too. Right. To you know, because you're gonna pick up different little techniques, or you know, maybe you might need to put a little more spin in your bag, or anything, just to kind of keep it going.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody kind of starts somewhere. I mean, there was a point in time where I wasn't putting 10s and 12s up on the board every frame. So for me in particular, growing up in Ohio, I kind of got to watch Cody Henderson and Adam Hissner and Jay Dotson, and they kind of mentored me to take a little piece of their game and incorporate it in my own. I'm sure Bones can tell you he probably didn't make every bag. He was a horseshoe thrower, so anything he probably threw over the board.
Yeah, it took me a little while to get used to it, but I've watched people too, and that's how I've learned a lot. Is just keeping an eye on the good throwers, you know, especially down here in the South. But so far, everything's working out, and hopefully, me and Drew can make it work out even better.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't get the ESPN up here, so we have to try and just see everything the day after, on when everyone starts sharing it on Facebook. But we need to start seeing you guys a bit more on the ACL, on their little blurbs that they put out.
I hope so. I hope that's the plan for us, at least.
So yeah, we're coming up on the hour here, so I want to thank you guys for coming on. It's been great talking to you. I know, Drew, we've talked a bunch on just kind of going back and forth on Twitter, and you know, it's not the part of having fun with you. It's like I said, everyone gets along. Everyone likes to kind of talk and have those fun chirps with each other, because it was, you know, that's kind of what makes the game fun.
Of course. I'm one that I like to make people laugh, but I'll tell you what, as soon as we both step up on opposite sides of the boards, I'm all games set aside. We're here to win. I'm here to focus.
Exactly. So again, I want to thank you guys for coming on, and I know we're going to do this again sometime. And Drew, I know I want to get that fun game in with you sometime when we get a chance to see each other at a national. I'm in. Hopefully they have it here soon. Yeah. Thank you as well for having us. Yeah, enjoyed it, and right. Thanks for having us on here, Doug. We'll try and get you back on here again soon. Sounds good. I appreciate you. All right, Doug. Thank you. Thanks. Another edition of Down and Back Live. Thanks for watching. Check for the next show on Friday morning. We're going to be having another guy they've been talking about, Tyler Poitras, will be on. And we got Jay has given us a couple questions to ask him from last week. So we'll see what his answers are when we kind of surprise him with those questions. So thanks again, Drew and Glenn, for coming on, and we'll be talking to you again real soon. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. You can turn the camera off, but thanks again for watching, and make sure you check it out Fridays, and we'll be every Wednesday evening.